What is up, NFC North fans? What a slate of games we had last week. And I don't want to bury the lead, but the Vikings beat the Commanders. And I know that was the most important game in the division this last week. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Maybe not the most important game in the division, but either way, the Vikings got the win. Massive, massive game from them. All right, I got to bring in the panelists. We have somebody different representing the Lions, so we definitely got to introduce him. Fellas, so good to see you. We got Bass. We got One Bar. We got not Dose. We got Christian filling in for Dose, and we got Nick. Fellas, so good to see you. I hope you are having a fantastic evening. Man, it started out on fire this last week, though. We got to get straight to the games. Lions played on Thursday Night Football, and what always happens to be the week after Thanksgiving, the best Thursday Night Football game of the week. Of the year, because you usually have two teams that played on Thanksgiving. So you finally have two teams that have a full week's of rest going into that game. And this was a big one. This was two teams fighting for a playoff spot. Dallas had to win out. Detroit essentially has to win out. And whoever lost that game, their playoff hopes would be dashed. That was not the case for one Detroit Lions. And I will tell you, we wrote them off on this very show this last week, but they lived to fight another week at the very, very least. Christian, brother, nice to see you, man. Thank you for filling in for Dose. Talk to me about what you saw on Thursday Night Football from the Detroit Lions versus the Dallas Cowboys.
What I saw was let's start off. I appreciate y'all having me on once again. But also, what I seen with the Lions, I'm like, it's just a team hungry, man. It's just more like when you count them out, they just play 10 times better. And it's like, it's losing Branch does suck, and that's definitely something that's probably going to hurt us later on. But Jahmyr Gibbs keep playing. Dan Campbell not taking all these, like, fourth quarter, just Hail Mary, let's just figure it out, run up the middle all the time. And, it's just like you don't have to, like, play for the points, man. Like, Dallas, let's be honest, nobody really expected us to lose to Dallas, but there were definitely some people that were just like this Dallas game doesn't really look good. They might end up playing it off or something like that. But I had a feeling the Lions were going to pull it off. I didn't expect Jahmyr Gibbs to get 3 touchdowns, but definitely was a game worth watching. Losing Brands once, like I said, once again, definitely hurt the defense, but as they've been saying this year and unfortunately last year, it's just next man up. So Jazz Campbell been looking good. You definitely need to get Hutch a little bit of help, but it's just that game is like I said, I expected it, but it's also I did feel like you just need just a little bit taller cornerbacks. Amik definitely was looking good against CD before he went out, but it was just more. I still feel like they should have went after kept Carlton Davis, and you still had DJ Reed on the other side. It's they competitive players. I'm never gonna sit here and say that they're garbage. It's just more of there's a height issue. Like these players that we have now on corners are not going to out jump anybody else. So when you have people like Mike Evans, Justin Jefferson, you got to be able to like out jump these guys and like help them. But you're not gonna be able to do this with Amik and DJ Reed. No disrespect to them, I love you guys, but it's gonna be hard trying to do it. But like I said, they pulled out a win, man, 30-44. It was a great game watching it, but I'm just a little skeptical about it because if CD didn't come out, do I feel like that we would have won? I feel like we would have won, but we would have won by like 3 points.
I gotta say, they're going to be tested. Those smaller corners are going to be tested again this week. That's for damn sure. But also, I actually thought the Cowboys would win. I was looking at the Cowboys and thinking, man, if the Cowboys get into the playoffs, the way that offense is playing, the defense had been playing better since the trade deadline. They went out and got some new dogs over there on the defensive side. I was like, man, I don't know if anybody wants to play Dallas. I thought this was a real test. This, to me, was a real quality win from Detroit. And it lets you know that they have some fight left in them. Now, they're going to need some help, and they're going to have to win down the stretch, but this does keep them alive. I will say, as an outsider looking in, Brian Branch might be maybe my favorite player in the league that's not a 49er. Like, he's a really, really good football player. He can do it all, man. He can play, free safety. He can play strong safety. He can play the star role. He can play slot corner. There's so much that he can do, and he covers up a lot of weaknesses from the Detroit Lions, and not weaknesses because the roster's not good, but weaknesses because there's so many injuries. You guys were already without Arnold. Now you lose Branch. It seems like it never stops in Detroit. Laporta's out for the year. You even tried to bring back Frank Ragnow. That lasted a whole half a week before he retired again. Like, it seems like the injuries pile up, and this is from one fan base, being a 49er fan, to another. It's like, I feel your pain, man. At some point, enough is enough. And so, you've got to be looking at that saying, all right, yeah, that's great, we won, but now we lost Branch. And not only did you lose Branch for the end of the season, but this is an Achilles injury. He could be out for a big portion of next year. What do you think of that?
That's why I say it's definitely something that needs to be addressed. I still, it's not even just about this game. I still feel like something should have been addressed before the trade deadline. I don't know, like, still seeing me being Zadarius Smith. Maybe he wouldn't help. Maybe he still would retire. But for you to come out and just say, "Oh yeah, coach, we're good. We don't need anything." It's like, man, you can't stand pat. Like, when you have a playoff window, a Super Bowl window, you got to go for it. Now, I'm not saying give up the whole roster and go get Myles Garrett if the Cleveland is willing to let him go. But I'm saying, man, you can't stand pat like that. If I didn't know, I'm not in the organization, that Frank Ragnow was going to leave. But I'm pretty sure somebody knew that Frank Ragnow was going to say, "Hey, I'm going to call it right now." So you guys to go get Tate Radley's later on in the draft and Tyleik Williams, who isn't a slouch, but he's also not offense. And then to do that, it's like, that's crazy. Then I don't know if anybody else said, I'm a Lions fan. Brown's been having a horrible year. I'm like, man, like, my son is 14 and I have never played football on any type of level. And you throw the ball at my chest, I'm catching it. So like, come on, man. It's like, man, the ball is hitting you dead in your chest. Like, you got to catch the ball, man. It's like, this is brutal to watch. Like, it was certain times, man, I think I had to go to the doctor maybe like 2-3 times after the game because my heart was like this, like, oh my God, we're about to lose. Like, this is crazy. We gotta tighten up. This is looking bad. Then it's like, okay. But if you don't have Brown, who do you have? And then J-Mo definitely stepped up that game, so it definitely looked good. But it's like, but when you don't have J-Mo, who else do you have? Then it's like, yeah, losing Sam Laporta, then losing Brock right on top of it. It's like, man, it's just going down the roster. Now we're just picking up guys from practice squads just to fill roles. And I'm like, I feel like that's karma just from you staying back.
It's already it happened to you guys last year. You guys had to get in these shootouts, and we saw how it ended, man. We'll see how it ends this year. It may end with Detroit not making the playoffs. We will see. All right, let's get into this Vikings-Commanders game. Speaking of showing life, my gosh.
Super Bowl.
The brakes off the beat the brakes off the Commanders 31-0. Fantasy football playoffs started this week, one bar, and the NFL doesn't have this, but maybe the Vikings can be the winners of the loser bracket. You know what I'm talking about? No playoffs for you guys, but you can come in and start throwing some upsets down the stretch. And it started with the Commanders 31-0. Talk to me about what you saw from the Minnesota Vikings. And I will say, before you get going, last week you talked about what you wanted to see towards the end of the season. And one thing you wanted to see was KOC developing some of these young players, also establishing the run more, and then JJ McCarthy starting to play better football. Did you see those things in this individual game?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, as a Vikings fan right now, it's all about pure entertainment right now. Like, I want to see the NFC North. I want to see you guys scrambling at the end. I want to see you guys uncomfortable. I want this to be very, very close because right now we don't really have anything to play for. I mean, technically, like, if the Vikings win out, I believe it's still like less than 1% chance to get in the playoffs. But there's still a chance. There's still a chance, baby. But to get into
all
this
that 1 in a million talk.
I mean, to get into this game, the Commanders, yes, they're. Let me put it into perspective. The Commanders are a bad football team. They were still favored going into this game. So the fact that the Vikings came out And after getting shut out the week before, they pitched a shutout, which was the first time since 1992, which is just, I mean, that's just pure Viking football. They're going to toy with your emotions every damn time. They went out there and spanked them. It was good. Like, if the Vikings would have won 14-10 or 17-4, whatever, it'd been like, oh, great. They squeaked by the horrible Washington team. They did go out there and they absolutely just whooped on their ass. I mean, it was 31 rip. We saw that. It was good to see. And like Jesse, like you said, there was very particular things you wanted to see out of this. As a Vikings fan, yes, we still want to see wins. And we want to see progression from JJ McCarthy. And we did see that. The biggest takeaway out of this on the offensive side of the ball is it was completely different play calling. I mean, KOC like put his pride aside, whatever you want to call it. I mean, there was a lot of 12 personnel, 13 personnel. We haven't seen that much this year. He was looking at the tight ends early and often. He was running the ball. The Vikings were running the hell out of the ball. And that's exactly right now, at least where JJ McCarthy is right now in his career. That's what you need to do. And he went out there and had a good game. I mean, he was 16 for 23, 163 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 turnovers. And like I said, 162 yards on the ground. The biggest thing is like on 2nd and 1, they were running the ball. They weren't throwing it 40 yards deep to Justin Jefferson throwing an interception. They were over 50% on 3rd down, 2 for 2 on 4th down. It's like they were doing everything in their power to make JJ McCarthy succeed. And he had a fantastic game. Was 163 yards going to wow everybody? No. Is Justin Jefferson? The last 2 weeks, I think dude's had like 15 yards. But they got the win, and that's what matters. And it's like, are we going to see this continuously for the upcoming weeks, or is KOC just going to throw that out the window again against the Cowboys, which I know we're going to talk about, and just start chucking that thing down the field? It's like, you pick your poison, go for the win or go for the progression with JJ McCarthy. And we did see that. It was great to see. Defensively, again, they held their own against, Washington, not a great team, but Jaden Daniels was back. They did get 3 turnovers. They held Washington at 206 yards total offense, 0 for 2 in the red zone. So it was fun to watch. The Vikings fans needed this. JJ McCarthy needed this. KOC needed this. I sure the hell know the GM needed this. And we'll see what happens the rest of the year, but it was a very good game. Everything you wanted to see, we saw. It's just the biggest, the small painful thing is like, where has this been all season? Why haven't we been doing this all season? Why hasn't we been doing the short pass? I mean, Josh Oliver had 2 touchdowns. TJ Hawkinson was involved. The run game was involved. It's just, where has this been all season? So we'll see what happens the rest of the week. It'll be very interesting to see if they actually stick to this.
Yeah, well, either way, I mean, you saw some positive down the stretch, and like I said, this is about building towards the future. What does it look like? What young players can step up? Maybe who are some of the bigger salaries where you can trim some fat? Is JJ McCarthy, is he the quarterback of the future? We saw Justin Jefferson very, very frustrated after last week's game for, maybe the first time in his career. He's actually, one of those wide receivers that kind of keeps his mouth shut. He's a good teammate, and he always has been, but last week, some of that frustration started to boil over. And so he started thinking, do we have to trade this guy? What's going on? So a lot of moving parts. I think winning cures all. Coming out, I will say this one, Bar, and tell me what you think. I think beating the Commanders 31-0, although it's insignificant towards the playoffs or anything like that, after everything that had gone wrong the week before with the Justin Jefferson stuff and JJ McCarthy, I think this kind of goes to show you how good of a coach KOC is that he could keep it together, get their eye on the prize, and get them to come out and play inspiring football once again, even though there's not much to play for. You agree or disagree?
No, I 100% agree. And I think there was a lot of heat on Kwesi, the GM, as well. I mean, if they at home if they were to go there and get spanked by the Commanders or even lose to the Commanders, I mean, that seat, it only gets hotter. So like KOC did Kwesi a huge favor on getting that dub at home. So KOC, he called a great game. And I'm not going to sit here and say like JJ McCarthy, oh, wow, 3 touchdowns, 0 picks, man. We are set for the next 10 years. We got to see this week in and week out. Like we have to see this again, and that's going to be up to KOC. We got a very tough schedule to finish off the season. So there's a lot of questions still need to be answered, but it was a good week. And we're just, unfortunately for Vikings fans, in the mode of just like, let's look towards next season. You guys are all playing for playoffs and potential Super Bowl berths while we're just hoping JJ McCarthy shows some glimpses. And he did. He had a great game.
Well, I will say this, the NFL and the NFC is very, very wide open. And every time you think you got it figured out, this is the best team in the league, they end up dropping a game. We see it week in and week out. This week's game of the week, in my opinion, though, was the Packers and the Bears in division. Packers end up pulling this one out 28-21 in a fantastic game. I mean, two very, very strong defenses. Cold weather game. You always love to see it. And we get one more of these in a couple weeks, which is even more exciting. But this round does go to the Packers, which means they are the first place team in the division once again, which is why you see the layout. And Bass, because your team won, that means you get to go first. Talk to me about what you saw in this matchup versus the Bears.
Yeah, well, first, it's nice that the rivalry is seemingly back. Now, it's been one-sided for the past 14 games. You know, the Bears 1-13 against the Packers, but last year they get that win against us. We squeak away with a blocked field goal. Then this year they have a competent coach in Ben Johnson. So I like that it's finally back. To me, it's the biggest rivalry in sports, and it's seemingly going to be competitive again for the foreseeable future. And if we get good football games like that, that's what we're here to watch. And obviously, me being a Packers fan, I like it even more because we ended up with a victory. And I'm very proud of this football team and how they've been playing over the past month, because there was a lot of questions for this team, about month and a half ago. Rumblings of, should Matt LaFleur stay as our head coach? Jordan Love isn't good enough. There's injuries left and right. And how they've kind of bounced back and really created an identity, I think, is going to carry them, hopefully far into the playoffs. Now, it did start rough for this offense. We kind of drove down the field. Then Jordan Love threw one of those nasty interceptions that everyone seems to think like he throws all the time, but yet again, he only has like 4 on the year. But it was a disgusting one. But what I really like is after that disgusting interception, how he came back and responded, and how this offense responded. He didn't have that many more trouble or troublesome throws after that. He had the one to Bo Melton up the sideline that Bo had to OPI to stop. I think it was Nashawn Wright from intercepting it. But outside of that, Love has been absolutely on fire through November into December. Again, I'll joke about the whole Toyota-thon thing. He has been absolutely on fire. And right now to this point, he is a top 5 quarterback statistically. Every stat, every advanced metric showcases it. He's up there with Drake May and Matthew Stafford. He really is. And he's playing very, very well here in 2025. Now, more into this game, I was very impressed with how this defense really locked it down in the first half. I mean, they really shut down this Bears offense in the first half. They had nothing going. I think Caleb ended up with like 33 passing yards in the first half. I really liked seeing what Jeff Hafley was doing with disguised pressure packages, simulated pressures. He was really moving a lot around pre-snap, post-snap to kind of confuse Caleb, confuse that offense, and it was working. But then, of course, Ben Johnson, being the good coach that he is, started to adjust in the second half and started to say, hey, we can move them down low. We can have long, sustainable drives and try to wear them out. And then on top of that, you have the Packers going 3 and out the first couple of drives the second half. Our defense was extremely tired. And that's when the game started to turn in Chicago's favor. And I'm like, okay, now we have a game, because we're up 14-3 at half, started the ball in the second half. I'm thinking, hey, if we go down there and get any type of points, we could run away with this thing. Like, that's how that game felt. But then the Bears started to get that little bit of a curve there and really overpower the Packers in the trenches. Their offensive line is so much better, heaps and bounds better than it was last year. I really like what they did with Jonah Jackson, Joe Tooney, Drew Dahlman on the interior. Those are some great linemen, and they were really moving our defensive line there and really just getting easy yards on first down. I think the one drive they had was 17 total plays, which that's kind of been the recipe against the Packers. Hey, long, sustainable drives, control the clock, run the ball early and often, and keep the ball away from the Packers offense and tie in a couple 3 and outs, and you're in a good position there. Now, very, very impressed with a couple receivers on this Packers offense. Christian Watson's been absolutely on fire the past month. Then you have Bo Melton, who isn't even a receiver on our roster. He's a corner, catch a 45-yard touchdown on the Bears defense. So he's been stepping up with the absence of Matthew Golden, who did return in this game, but was kind of on a pitch count. So was Dontavian Wicks. Jaden Reed returned in this game. They got him involved early, so he's another factor to add into this offense. But But yeah, with Caleb Williams, another thing is like early in this game, I feel like he was really off the mark. He was inaccurate. His timing was off, but he really started to lock in the second half. And I thought he made some amazing throws. I mean, you talk about a couple of them, the one to Kmet on the sideline, the one to, I think it was Zacchaeus in the end zone, went through Nixon's hands. Really started to lock in there at the end. Defense got tired. The Bears really started to find a rhythm on offense. I will say this. I don't know if you guys noticed it or Nick, I want an actual response to this. Do you think Parsons is getting held like a lot of the time? Because I feel like he is. I know Cowboys fans talked about this when he was on their team. Like, hey, now you guys are going to see it. He gets held almost every play and no one's calling it on him. I don't know. It seemed really bad in this game for Parsons. So I'm not really sure there. But to wrap things up, Keyshawn Nixon getting a crucial interception at the end there. Same play they ran against the Eagles, the dagger, that naked boot to the left. Caleb found Kmet against the Eagles. He was open, perfect throw. This time, Nixon was there to stop it. It was actually funny. It wasn't Nixon's man. Evan Williams was manned up on Kmet, and Nixon just so happened to switch with him and track that deep corner route. So great on this defense, coordinating well, communicating well, and getting it done in the end. And I'm excited for the next matchup in a couple weeks here because I think it's going to be another great game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great game as well. And I got to say, Nick, I know you're not going to make excuses here, and I'm not trying to do that either, but I am looking at this Bears defense, and there's a lot of players that were out this game. And for you guys to hold serve and make that close, that's got to feel really, really good. I think it's just, even in a loss, it's more confirmation that the Bears are actually a pretty damn good team. And maybe the second time around, you get some of those guys back, it can be the difference maker. But in this one, either way, it was a loss. I know that Caleb Williams also threw that pick at the end, had a really rough first half. So I'm curious to know your thoughts on that. But hell of a game overall, fun one to watch. Give me your thoughts on the Bears losing to the Packers this time around.
First of all, I just want to give mad respect to Baz for actually saying that this was a good game. The amount of Packers fans that were in my DMs, texting me, my buddies from home, just acting like they won the Super Bowl. When we walked in, Baz, a huge thing that I saw was that Packers fans this is the Bears Super Bowl. And I was like, yeah, I mean, this is obviously an exciting game. And you said it best. The rivalry is actually fun again. And that game showed it. Ben Johnson showed the complete overhaul change of having a coach like him take over this young Bears roster. Jesse, you said it, we're missing a ton of guys, but the ability of this team to adjust in the second half like they did, I think is the biggest takeaway for the Bears. The Packers, I thought, had a great game plan. They came into this game. They did a fantastic job preparing for this Bears team because we've been playing really darn good football. And Baz, to answer your question before I kind of give more of a breakdown, I will say as a Bears fan, he was held so much of that game. And he's held every single game. When you have a guy like Micah Parsons, that's just what's naturally going to happen. When we had Khalil Mack, he was held every single play. Just when you have guys who are that talented, the officials are like, what are we going to do? Otherwise, they're going to kill. The game's not even going to be somewhat entertaining. So hand up, 100% he was held a ton during this game, and I'll admit it. But I think that Parsons is a fantastic football player. I mean, he truly made Caleb become the Houdini, earn the nickname Houdini for how much he had to run around. I also saw Parsons literally shove his own teammate out of the way to go after Caleb Williams, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. I was like, wow, that guy really wants to play football.
It was Rashawn Gary too.
Yeah. Okay, so you saw that too, but what a game overall. I think what was most impressive, so breaking this down, is that the Bears only had 71 yards in the first half, and then they came out in the second half and had over 240 yards of total offense. And if I'm understanding correctly, Baz, what I saw and before this game was that Green Bay's defense didn't allow more than 240 yards of offense at all this season at home to their opponents. Is that correct? Yeah.
Yeah, they've been good at home, really good at home.
I mean, they're a top 10 defense for a reason. They've been electric, and I think Chicago did a really good job adjusting in the second half and making it an entertaining ball game. We walked into halftime at 14-3, and a lot of us were feeling the heat. We were like, all right, how are we going to do this? And Ben Johnson, being the coach that we brought him in to be, completely turned it around. Dennis Allen did a great job with that defensive scheme hold things down. Yes, the Bears had an interception with CJ Gardner-Johnson against Jordan Love, but that was our only takeaway of the game. The Bears were 8-0 entering that game with 2 or more takeaways. So if the Bears would have gotten another one, who knows what would have happened. But that Packers defense was ready to shut down that Bears offense in every single way. Ben Johnson did a great job bringing the rushing attack with Kyle Monangai and DeAndre Swift, just pounding it on the ground, even with Micah Parsons on that side of the ball. You guys lost Devontae Wyatt, so we looked at that as an opportunity to run against them, and that's why the Bears had so many rushing yards. And Caleb in the second half, over 120 yards passing, 2 passing touchdowns. And on the final play of the game, that's just good football overall. Matt LaFleur even admitted it himself that, that was broken coverage, and Nixon made a great play, and hand up, he made a fantastic play. He read that so well in order for that to not happen and get the interception. Caleb was under a ton of pressure. He made some fantastic throws during that game, and Green Bay just had a really good game plan walking into that. So I thought the game, I give it an A+, arguably my favorite game I watched this year, and that was with a Bears loss, because it was intense the entire time, good coaching on each sides of the ball. It was the NFC North, and to keep up with this Packers team that did just get Micah Parsons, has a healthy, McKinney and the secondary, which was a huge problem in our game plan for us, according to Ben Johnson. And then Josh Jacobs coming out and just being a bully that he was, and the Bears were still able to only lose by 1 score. I thought it was fantastic. And my favorite part about this whole thing is, Ben Johnson was asked on Monday, would you have gone for 2 if you would have scored? With a giant smile on his face, he goes, yeah, that was probably going to happen.
Yeah,
so
we all knew it. I felt that too.
And everyone did. And I was like, please go for 2. I don't honestly. And I was like, if we lose, whatever. We went for it. This is what this rivalry is all about. And John Madden said it best. Not only when the Chicago Bears are good, the NFL is better, but when the Bears-Packers rivalry is good, the NFL is better. And I couldn't agree more. So much fun on Sunday, even though we lost. And I cannot wait for week 16, because I'm already looking at it that Tremaine Edmonds should be back. That was a big missing piece of our defense. And on top of it too, Roma Dunze was out against this Packers team. Even though he struggled with drops, he still is a really good wide receiver. So week 16, Saturday Night Football in Chicago is going to be absolutely electric. So really good matchup, Baz. Hats off to the Packers for winning that one. I know that everyone in the chat probably wanted us to just go at each other's throats, but when you have a game like that, you just tip of the hat. Also, Baz, just want to hear your thoughts on the handshake after the game, because both coaches didn't make a big deal about it. Did you have a reaction right after? Or
not really. Everything from the interview, that Matt LaFleur's asked about, he's been asked about it leading up to this game, about the whole, the opening interview from Ben Johnson when he was named coach. Right. He said he enjoys beating Matt LaFleur twice a year. LaFleur it didn't seem like he took that to heart. I'm sure there's something there. I'm sure he's going to go and have a friendly conversation with him after the game. He's like, all right, handshake, see ya.
Yeah, it was also 5 degrees outside.
Exactly. Also, Nick, I just want to congratulate you real quick for having more receiving yards than DJ Moore in this game. So just wanted to give you a little congratulations.
Yes, I was able to walk around my apartment, and I passed one to myself and had 1 yard. So that was super exciting. But yes,
there we go.
Thank you very much. It was a very, very tough feat to do, but we did it. We did it. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, I gotta say, every week Sleeper does the freebie pick, and if that would have been the freebie pick, could you imagine? Hey, the free pick this week is Moore's going to have at least 1 receiving yard. That's all he's got to get, or a half a receiving yard. I'd be like, yeah, of course. And then he gets -4, and all of a sudden you lose on a free pick. I don't know what Sleeper would have done in that scenario, but what I will say is Sleeper is certainly still a sponsor right here on Roundtable Sports, and you can get your 100% deposit match of up to $100 using promo code RTS, and you can get your free $20 play without even making a deposit by using that same promo code. And I've already made the picks, did it backstage for Thursday Night Football. I'll keep this one quick. Baker Mayfield, all he needs is 1 passing yard and we win. I feel good about that one, although I would have felt great about a more 1 receiving yard as well. But, I digress. We got Bucky Irving more on the receiving yards. We've got Godwin, I'm fading him on the touchdowns. I don't think he gets in the end zone. And then in Zane Gonzalez, I'm going to go with more on the 1.5 field goals. I just don't see the Falcons getting in the end zone. $10 down to win 47.50. You can tail us, you can fade us, but either way, use promo code RTS. Link is pinned to the top of the chat. I want to bring this up as well real quick too before we get too far into this one. Nick, I want to ask you about some of these injuries because, again, you didn't make any excuses, which kudos to you, but Gordon hurts himself again, the groin again, right before the game starts. His season very likely is done, I would imagine. And then, Jalen Johnson hurts his groin. Now he's practicing, so that's good. But, these guys just can't stay healthy. And they were big parts of this defense. I got to imagine going into the season now, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's been a godsend for you guys. He's been absolutely balling after being cut from 2 separate teams this year, which was crazy in itself. But overall, man, when you look at some of these injuries, what can we expect from these players? When will they be back? The Browns may not be that tough of a task this week, but you are going to need, you got the Packers in a couple weeks, you got the 49ers, and these are big playoff implication games. Are we going to see these players back for these games?
CJ, in regard to CJ Gardner-Johnson, I just want to give a shout out to him. He has done an incredible job just filling in, especially without Kyler Gordon out there. In regards to Kyler Gordon, I just can't believe that this guy, he just signed a 3-year, $40 million contract to become the highest paid slot corner in the NFL. And he's played in 117 snaps this year. That being said, the money doesn't kick until next year, but he is getting $31.25 million guaranteed. The Bears NFL insider Brad Biggs brought up that he talked to Kyler Gordon after the Eagles game and said Kyler mentioned that this was the hardest offseason that he had, that he's been working really hard to, make sure that this didn't happen, and the complete opposite did. So it's a super frustrating situation, to say the least, because these guys are huge, and the Bears have the 4th best defensive success rate when Kyler Gordon is on the field. They're 28th when he is not. So missing him is just a big deal. I would honestly shut him down for the rest of the year because his body clearly is just not cooperating with him. In regards to Jalen Johnson, that's your $20 million defensive back. That's your leader of the defense. That's your leader of the locker room. If he wants to play, even though it's a little bit nerve-wracking, like he's got that respect and kind of that, grandfathered in before Ben Johnson was there to play. I thought he came back too soon, in my personal opinion. Since he's been on the field, there has been broken coverage. He has looked a little bit slower. I know that he's got to shake off the rust because he's barely played this year. But another guy that I would just be like, sit it down. Nashawn Wright's been doing a fantastic job for the Bears this year. CJ Gardner-Johnson. We get Tyreek Stevenson back potentially this week. Those two guys, though, obviously are a huge part of the game plan, and they can't even stay on the field. It just throws everyone through a loop. Like, what are we going to do? How are we going to adjust? So on and so forth. So, right now, it looks like Jalen Johnson will play this week against the Cleveland Browns. That being said, if the Bears wanted to sit him, I wouldn't be too upset about it, but he's just a dog and wants to play. Kyler Gordon, throw him on IR, end of season, let him heal up. But shout out to the Bears picking up Nashawn Wright from the Vikings practice squad when he was on it last year, and then signing him, and he's been an absolute dog this year. He's second in Pro Bowl voting for cornerbacks. So luckily we have depth, but man, we're definitely missing those guys for sure.
What about the linebackers? I know you got a couple linebackers out as well. What's that position look like for you guys?
Yeah, so TJ Edwards came back, even though he's been out twice with hamstring injuries. That always makes you a little bit nervous. In regards to Noah Sewell, he was back this week, but in literally like a Terminator arm sleeve, metal covering that elbow. I'm like, bruh, you should not even be out there. DeMarco Jackson's been doing a really good job for us, say with Amen. Bears just picked up Ty Summers, though, so former Packer Lion. And yeah, I see Baz laughing. Bears just picked him up for the practice squad, so who knows what that means. But Tremaine Edmonds has been on IR with a groin injury. And it's funny enough, right before the show, I tweeted out that he could be back for week 16 versus the Packers. And we're missing him a lot. I mean, he had 89 tackles, 9 pass deflections, 4 interceptions, 3 tackles for loss, and 1 sack. So missing him has been huge. The fact that the Bears have been as good as they are on defense without him shows how deep this defense is and how good Dennis Allen is. But getting him back is going to be huge. And it looks like next week it could be the week.
Well, I look forward to it, man. I cannot wait for that week 16 matchup. And then, man, we got a little rivalry game coming up right after that, man. We're going to bring you into Santa Clara. We definitely are gonna have to work a show in that week, man. But I'm looking forward to it. The Bears are a fun team to watch. I find myself watching them every single week. All right, there it is. Go ahead.
We're gonna come to California. I know I'm gonna see Gavin Newsom when I'm there, and I'm gonna go beep boop bop. We're gonna beat the Niners. Bye bye.
Jesus. All right, here we go. All right, listen, sponsor number 2, RotoWire. You can get 15% off when you use promo code RTS. The link is in the description for them as well. This is the best tandem fantasy football app out there. I guarantee it. And you've got playoffs that should be starting this week in most fantasy football leagues. And if that is the case, you always have that tough question of, should you play this wide receiver or this running back in the flex spot? You know, what does it look like? Well, let these guys help you out. They also are going to help you be a degenerate. Yes, that's right. If you play sleeper, then you definitely want to check this out as well. You can go to Picks and Props, Daily Fantasy. You can go to Sleeper here or whoever it is that you use, and they've got an AI algorithm that's going to tell you exactly who you should be picking based off of that particular app's algorithm and who they have and what they've got yardage wise. So, for example, they've got Bijan Robinson, 70.5 rushing yards. They feel very, very good that that's going to happen. They do not like Bryce Young and his 202.5 passing yards. They think that he's going to go under there, and so forth and so on. As you go throughout this, you're going to notice the confidence meter does change based on how confident the AI algorithm is. I got to say, it hits way more than it doesn't. So you should be using something to help you out and bounce your ideas off of it. RotoWire is that something. Get your 15% off using promo code RTS. All right, fellas, it's time to preview week 15, and we've got some very, very good games once again that we got to be taking a look at. And we're going to start in the 1 p.m. Eastern time slot. Bears versus Browns. One bar, I'm going to start with you on this one. Who do you have in this matchup? Bears versus Browns, 1 p.m. Eastern. This one's going to be a very, very cold game.
Yeah, it's I mean, it was looking very, very cold, like you said. I mean, obviously you got to look at it and anticipate a very low scoring game. I mean, man, the Bears, if I'm the Bears, I'm pounding the ball every damn time. I mean, Kyle Monangai, that dude is a beast, swift beast. I mean, you get in this cold weather, especially that last interception by Caleb Williams, which is absolutely disgusting against the Packers. I mean, Nixon, I mean, that thing was just an absolute gift. Baz, I can only imagine how excited you were with that thing. But I'm running the ball all damn day, but I will keep this short and sweet. I'm sticking with it. What I said last week, it's the curse. It's the curse of Ben Johnson's milkers, man. I got, ever since he pulled those things out, I don't know if they're going to win again. I really don't. They got too confident. They got too cocky. And I'm sticking with it. You can't pull those milkers out and expect to win any more games. So I actually have a very low scoring game. I got the Browns winning 13-10. 13-10. I'm sorry, Nick. Nick, I love you, man. But
You want me to pull my milkers out?
Absolutely.
Maybe that'll reverse it. I'll flash you one bar. I know you want to see it like milking a cat. That's what you want to see, right?
Until the Bears win after that game, I'm not picking them. I can't. It's like like last year, the Vikings when they won, and Darnold, the whole video of them spraying water on him. He's up there on the crowd. They shit the bed after that, and I just feel the same thing. It's weird.
I don't like that you said that, by the way, because now it's in my head like, shit.
It should be, man. He shouldn't have done it. Got to win the North.
There was 3 hot dogs involved. I wasn't even here. You know, you got to feed the man fed families lunch. You got to respect.
I'm glad they were fed, but I didn't like it.
I didn't even get it.
All right. Well, let's see if Christian feels the same. Is he worried about Ben Johnson pulling his quote-unquote milkers out in this one? Bears versus Browns, 1 p.m. Eastern. Christian, who do you have winning this game?
Hey, before we get started, man, I just got to say real quick, CJ Gardner-Johnson, like Giddy Deuce is his rap name. You owe me some money and an apology, because when you were with the Detroit Lions, I definitely listened to your music while you were here. You dropped it with 42 Doug. You drop music every chance. You drop more music than you played in games. And I listen to every song that you play, and I can't get that time back. You owe me for that time. I know I work a 9 to 5. You owe me back for that time that I lost listening to your crap music. Then you left Then when you left, then you got to sit there and talk about how bad Detroit is and how crappy we are. Then you came in here and took the culture and then left with you. Like, come on now. Like, you owe me some money and an apology before anything else. That's what you owe me. I'm sorry. Now I can get to the game.
Let me give him a call real quick. I'll relay the message.
Yeah, call him up and tell me my Cash App is the same name that's on the screen. Tell him he got to send me at least like $20, $30 because you got to send me some type of money and also say in the captions, I'm sorry, because that was a waste of my time that I know I'm never going to be able to get back. And that was crazy work that I listened to that and encouraged people to listen to it. And then when you left, you said, oh, Detroit sucks. It's like, okay.
That's
But now let's go back
to
to
the Roundtable Twitter, right? Like we gotta record that and put that.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, hey,
we
I
gotta
hope you
tag
can
him in
see
this
it.
one.
I hope you can see it, man. Hey, if you see it, definitely you can hit me up wherever you want to hit me up at. And if you say anything other than I'm sorry, I ain't trying to hear it. But now back to the game. Like I definitely see you like don't get me wrong, like other than CJ Gardner-Johnson, who apparently I got a beef with because you shouldn't have said everything you said. I still like Cleveland. I definitely feel like Shedeur shouldn't have went to the 5th round. I definitely feel like he's most definitely a capable quarterback. Kevin Stefanski needs to stop getting in his way, to be honest with you. Like Kevin said, he's definitely a head coach. He's definitely a great head coach. But in order for you to get the most you can out of Shedeur, man, you have to let this man do it. You showed it with Tennessee. Granted, it's Tennessee, but you also at the same time you see that what this man is capable of, and you sitting there just like, well, I'm still trying to understand. Somebody explain to me that 2-point conversion and see where that made any sense at. But to be honest, I definitely feel like that game is going to be close. But I got to give it to Shedeur. I'm with you. I don't see it being too high. I see it being like 2017, but I don't see it being too high where it's going to go crazy as they were with Tennessee. But I definitely got my dog Shedeur winning that game.
Oh, I did not expect this. Bass, are you going to make it a clean sweep from the panelists? Bears versus Browns, 1 p.m. Eastern. Tell me about this one.
I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't going to, but now I'm really inclined to do the whole milker curse. Like that just sounds like
Is this like the new moon?
I'm about it. I don't need Lions don't need a moon. They're done anyways. I'll go with the milker curse.
Milker curse.
Okay,
That's a new shirt.
The milker curse. The one thing, yeah. So what I have note wise is Cleveland obviously is a very good defense. You know, as a Packers fans, I saw this front and center. I mean, they beat us. They did, plain and simple. That was with Joe Flacco at quarterback. Shout out Joe Flacco. But one thing about them is a very, very good run defense. I would say the best in the league in terms of success rate, run stuff rate, everything advanced analytic wise. And that's what the Bears like to do. They want to run the football. They want to establish the run game. I think if you shut down their run game, you have a good chance to make this a close game. Now, on the flip side, how does that offense go against the Bears defense, right? The Bears defense, most turnovers in the league. They live on turnovers. And Shedeur, you know, I think he has potential, but the facts are the facts. He has 4.8% turnover worthy play percentage, just 30th in the NFL. So I think if the Bears do create 2+ turnovers, like you said, Nick, that we're 8-0 with 2+ turnovers, they will win. But saying that, I think the Browns with the weather, this is in Chicago, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they
Yes.
always play
Finally.
right? No, right. Given that the weather and it's going to be a ground game and the Browns just have really, really good run defense, I'm going to switch mine. I'm going to go 17-14 Cleveland. We're going the milker curse. We're just going for it.
Yeah, baby.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
baby.
Okay. This is not what I expected to happen here. I figured we'd have a clean sweep, but I thought it would be the Bears getting the clean sweep. Nick, you got to feel disrespected up here. I mean, my goodness, you guys have had a good season. You just had a hard-fought game. You said so many nice things about the Packers and their fans and Bass, and now all of a sudden everybody's picking against your Bears playing the Cleveland Browns. Talk to me about this one, man. What's the score going to be?
You know, I wasn't expecting it either, but, you know, haters are going to hate, which I love. It's going to be negative 30-degree wind chills. One bar said it best. Bears are going to pound the crap out of the rock. You have Kyle Monangai. You have DeAndre Swift. Britton Brown's probably going to get called up, our big running back, because Rashawn Johnson's, who's always on IR. Travis Homer's also dealing with an ankle injury. So I think that this is going to be a total on the ground, and I love the rookie matchup. It's the number one rookie running back yardage rise in Junkins in Cleveland right now. And then along with that too, you have Kamanungai who's third. Even though Kamanungai is tied for first in yards per carry, he is third in rushing touchdowns. And I'm super pumped about to see like this rookie matchup go about it. I'm also excited to see how they handle Myles Garrett. In all, I mean, I'll keep it short and sweet. I obviously got the Bears winning this one. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game, though, because of how cold it's going to be. I mean, imagine catching something like from either Sanders or Williams as fast as like a pigskin and that cold. Oh, my God, it's going to kill. So you're going to see a lot of chest catches. You're going to see it's just going to be bad. So I got 21 Bears, 13 Cleveland. I'm just going to keep it short and sweet. And I kind of love it. By the way, I don't know if everyone saw, but guess what's back? The good old notebook. Notebook's back. So notes have been taken.
Can you draw Ben Johnson's milkers in there on the front page?
I did draw some milkers, some big milkers. These are really big. Lots of milk. We need our protein for our injuries. That's why he popped those milkers out. He said, beep, boop, bop. You guys all hurt. Drink my milk. It'd be beautiful. Okay, here we go. Bye-bye. Thank you.
All right. Well, listen, again, I still don't know how three of you guys picked the Browns. I figured these other games is where we were going to have a little bit of a mixture. We got the Lions at the Rams. That's going to be a hell of a game. We got the Packers at the Broncos. But here we go, man. Everybody picking the Browns to win, fading the Bears. Let's see what happens here in the picks for the Lions and the Rams. 4:25 p.m. Eastern. Lions traveling to LA to play the Rams. One bar. Talk to me about this one. Who do you have winning this game?
Man, I just wish the Lions were completely healthy. I wish Branch was. I mean, like this would have been such a damn good game. And I wish it was. It's not in Detroit, right?
LA.
No, I think it's in LA. Yeah.
So yeah, I wish it was in Detroit. But man, I just think the Lions are too beat up. I mean, I want the Lions to win, honestly, just to make this NFC North, like I said earlier, just like I want this to be crazy at the end of the season. And right now it's scheming up to be. And really the Lions can win this game, but like when you look at this Rams team only giving up 17.5 points a game and they're scoring 29 a game, I just think it's going to be too much for this Lions defense. I think the Rams are going to come out and do their thing. So I actually have the Rams winning. I got 28-21 Rams.
All right, Nick, how do you have this one playing out? Lions at Rams, 4:25 p.m. Eastern on this Sunday.
Short and sweet. I think that the Matthew Stafford loves going against his former team, and I got the Rams winning this one. But I don't think it's going to be because the Lions are going to be playing their heart out in this one. So I got 28-21. I think it's going to be like the Packers-Bears game.
All right. Bass, how do you see this one playing out?
Yeah, you guys said it well. I mean, I would honestly want the Lions to win because in a sense that helps the Packers maybe chase a first seed there in the NFC, but it's just that they're so consistent. I mean, when you look at their red zone numbers on offense, on defense, like it's just crazy. It's absolutely insane how efficient they are in the red zone and how many, weapons they have on that offense. Matthew Stafford probably playing as the best quarterback right now statistically between, him and May. Like you guys said, Detroit, so many injuries. Like, is Kirby even coming back? I think I just saw they signed Jalen Mills. Like, it's a mess at defensive back. It really is. And again, going against those receivers and Matthew Stafford, that's a worry. But the Lions are coming off kind of a mini bye there, so maybe they got a little more preparation, a little more time to go against this Rams team. But they're just inconsistent. I can't really choose them against, especially the Rams. So I'm going Rams 38-28.
All right. Once again, all three panelists that do not cover the team picking against the in-division teams. So talk to me, Christian. Who do you have winning this game?
To be honest, just for me being a fan, man, I still got to go to Lions because I also just got to go with the fact that, yes, our defense is messed up. The stuff Kirby been posting on Instagram and, social media has just definitely has me like, oh, my goodness, like, is he going to come back this year? And if we had at least one healthy, like, true cornerback, I wouldn't be worried about it because at least you can like stop Devontae or Puka Nacua. But the fact that we have, like I said previously, DJ Reed, Amik, they got to play crazy. So it's definitely going to be tight. Somebody has to have not even a good game. Somebody has a great game because the Lions are definitely going to try to make it to the playoffs and definitely try to do more. It's just if one person makes mental mistakes like we've been making all this year, it's over with. So I still got to give the Lions, but it's going to be really tight. I say like 30, 34, 31. Like you just making it just because Dan Campbell is more like, hey, I'm not about to sit here and just go for it on fourth down, running up the middle with Grant Stewart again. I'm going to use my running backs like they're supposed to be used and run up the middle versus Grant Stewart. I'm still so confused about that one. But at the same time, our offense definitely was good even without Sam Laporta. It's just even with our mind having the games he's been having, it's like, are you going to catch the ball when Goff throws to? Because, we have all seen just out this year alone that Goff is definitely a system QB. So he's not one of the people that's going to run. If he runs, then it's just like watching my mom run across the street, man. Like it's like, Mom, what are you doing? So it's like we gotta figure this out, man. So it's like Goff's just standing there. It's just like, oh, I don't see it. Oh, sack for loss. It's like, dude, please just throw it to a fan in the crowd at this point, dude, versus getting a sack. And if he could do that and actually pay attention to what's going on around him, besides getting too comfortable in that pocket, because he know that offensive line is not how it was last year, we might be able to pull it off. But it's definitely gonna be a hard fought game.
Well, this should be a very desperate Lions team. They've got to win for sure. Rams fighting for the number 1 seed. This one will be a lot of fun. And we know that Stafford loves to play his old team. I'm sure Goff loves to play his old team. So we should get the best of both of these. Let's talk about the Packers and the Broncos. Another fantastic game in the 4:25 p.m. Eastern time slot. One bar, I'm going to go to you on this one. Who do you have winning this one? Packers at Broncos. Believe it or not, Nick, the Packers don't play at home every week. They do have one road game this year. It's against the Broncos, apparently. Go ahead, One Bar. Who do you have winning this one?
Yeah, man, I was excited for the Packers-Bears game. I think I might be more excited about this one. I mean, the Packers are obviously on the map already. It's not like, oh, yeah, if they win this game, they're the real deal. Like this, I mean, this could be a potential. I mean, the Broncos are the real deal. Packers are the real deal. Broncos 6-0 at home this season. Packers are definitely on a streak of their own. Broncos 55 sacks this year. That's insane. Like when I saw that, I had to do a double check, like 55 sacks. But then when you look at the other side, the Packers have only been sacked 18 times. So it's like, this is going to be a hell of a matchup. Man, I got this close. I actually think Green Bay goes there and wins 23-20. Jordan Love has just been playing out of his mind. I hope this comes right down to the wire. I want buttholes absolutely just pinched at the very end of this game. I can't wait. This is going to be a fun game to watch.
All right, Nick, are you going to return the favor to Bass and the Packers fans and pick against the Packers? Or are you actually going to give them some love?
Absolutely.
Who do you have? Yeah, okay, perfect. Here we go.
We were nice to each other talking about our teams, and now we're not nice no more. I will say this, Denver, big Bo Nix fan. If we didn't get Caleb, I would not have been upset if we got Bo Nix. They're playing some darn good football, and I hope that they do some butt whooping to the Green Bay Packers. I think the Packers will probably end up having a good game, but I got the Denver Broncos winning this one 28-24.
Oh, all right. Christian, how do you see this one going down?
To be honest, it's just more who has the less turnovers. Because it's like, don't get me wrong, Green Bay, like I still a little sorry because y'all beat us twice. But it's just more, it's like Jordan Love, it's like if he has a game with no turnovers, Packers are going to win every time. But sometimes he has those turnovers, just like, what were you thinking? So it's like, that's where it's like, somebody said it previously, I hate to kind of steal it from him, but it's like whoever makes the most turnovers, it's the points that's going to end up losing this game. So it's really hard to predict beforehand because, they never know who's going to come in like that. Come in with a better mindset, like, hey, I need to win this out. But to be honest, even though it hurts to say being a Lions fan, I still got to give it to the Packers. I got to give it to the Packers. I'm going to say 31-27. Packers are going to pull this off. But Jordan Love is definitely have to come in there with the same mindset he had against Chicago, same mindset he had against us. It's like, hey, I'm here to win. I'm here to take it all the way. I'm not here just to say, hey, look, we made it. I'm here to actually do something with this now.
Wow. All right. We got the Lions representative picking the Packers. Bass, I know you're going to pick the Packers, but how do they get it done? And what's the score prediction?
Yeah, it's really close. Like, yeah, I'm gonna pick them, but it's not like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna pick them every single time, no matter what. But because this one's close, man. Like when you look at it on paper, 11-2 versus 9-3-1, and I think it's a very, very good matchup in terms of both of these teams. And what I look at mainly is this Denver defense, right? They play the third most zone coverage in the NFL. They're top 5 pass rush, like you said, 55 sacks. The Packers do protect well, and when they do, Jordan Love usually does ball out, but you're playing a different animal this week. They're top 5 in run defense, number 1 in sack rate. I think it's a massive it's a great matchup. It's a tough matchup. It's going to depend on how Rasheed Walker plays at left tackle, how Zach Tom plays at right tackle, and teams that blitz Jordan Love. He's the best against the blitz, but he's really bad against pressure, if that makes sense. Like teams that blitz him, like Dennis Allen did last week, when it doesn't work and the Packers protect that well, he's going to tear you apart. But when you actually get home from your blitzing or just sending 4, sending 5, and you create that pressure, Jordan Love has like a sub 55 quarterback rating against that. So it's going to be really important to try to protect against this Denver front. And then when you flip it over to the Denver offense, I think they have a great offensive line, both running and passing. Bo Nix is solid. He's not amazing by any stretch, but he's solid. I think it's a very well-coached football team. And another thing is, back to the Denver defense here. The Packers really rely on explosive plays. They have a ton of explosive plays on offense. We saw it last week against Chicago. Denver's defense is number 1 at stopping explosive plays. So I think it's a very, very good matchup. It's going to be a very hard-fought game. Excited for this coaching matchup as well, just to kind of see both coaches, kind of reach into their bag a little bit there. I'll end on this. Brandon McManus, former Bronco, broke some records at Mile High. The elevation. It's going to be a game-winning 55+ Brandon McManus field goal, 20-17.
That's a me hot take. You can't take my hot takes. That's not very nice. But I like that one. Very good, Bash. I hope that happens for you.
He's used to kicking there, man. He's used to kicking in the altitude. He's gonna be drilling them.
Very good.
Well, I say it week in and week out, but if you like primetime games, then welcome to the NFC North, because every single frickin' week, man, we got the Vikings, we got the Cowboys, Sunday night football. Can the Vikings keep it going by running through the NFC East in back-to-back weeks? We will find out on Sunday Night Football. First, we got to get some predictions, though. So, Nick, we're going to go to you. Vikings at Cowboys, Sunday Night Football. How do you see this one going down?
Vikings at Cowboys, you said?
Yes, sir.
Listen, the stomping that Minnesota did last week, I think that they're going to keep that momentum going. And honestly, I think they're going to shock some people. I think they're going to beat Dallas this upcoming weekend.
Oh, okay. What's the score prediction?
Even though one bar wasn't really nice to me as I said it, I'm realizing. I'm going to go 17-16.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I like it too. Low scoring.
We'll take it.
All right. That's like a Bass prediction. I got 5-2. We're gonna go with the Vikings. Bass, talk to me. How do you see this one going down?
Yeah. I guess it just depends what Minnesota you get. Like one bar said, since 1992, the first team to be shut out, then have a shutout. I kind of want to see him get shut out, because I'm sure that would be the only team to ever do the boom, 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 right? Because I looked it up actually before the show, and I think 92 is the only time it's ever happened until the Minnesota Vikings this past 2 weeks. So I kind of just want to root for that. But Dallas is playing for a lot more here. Like they have to win out. Like with another loss here, especially against the Vikings, like they're done. Like they're done for the season. What JJ McCarthy do we get? Do we get his alter ego 9? I don't really know. I just can't trust Minnesota here too much. I'm big on Dallas. I was last week and I was proved wrong, right? The Lions came out there and, essentially bell to ass for them, but I'm still going to go Dallas here 24-17.
All right, Christian, how do you see this one going down?
Just a fan in me, I just can't really say much about Dallas. Just because it's like, man, Dallas is just always going to be Dallas to me.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I definitely got to give it to the Vikings. I think the defense is way better. And it's also CeeDee Lamb being in concussion protocol. I think that's what's going to be the real thing. It's just like you're going to go to George Pickens, who you see when the pressure really is on, he's more one of the people he folds under it. Hey, I'm sorry for no disrespect to the people that that like the guy, but at the same time, hey, we got multiple tape. Y'all can pull it up after this. You can show that when the tape is on, like pressure's on, George Pickens fault. So he doesn't go through with it. So with CeeDee being gone, I still gotta give it to other team. Sorry.
Vikings, yep. What's score prediction? Score prediction.
I still think it's gonna be close though. I think I'll say 31-28.
31-28. Well, high scoring game. We know this Cowboys defense gives up a lot of points. One bar. How do you see this one going down? Can the Vikings show another sign of life and get a back-to-back win?
Well, we'll see. I mean, traveling to Dallas, I mean, obviously the big story is Dallas offense against the Vikings defense. The Vikings defense has been absolutely killing it lately. So they have quite the test. I mean, Dallas, 394 yards a game, almost 30 points a game as well. The big thing with Dak is the man gets the ball out of his hands very, very quickly. So if he continues to do that and Brian Flores cannot get to it, with Van Ginkel, with Grenard, with Dallas Turner, that is going to be a huge issue. I mean, CeeDee Lamb, obviously, if he's going to play, is going to be a big deciding factor on this. George Pickens scares the living hell out of me. I mean, for the Vikings right now, I mean, yeah, a win. I'll take a win any day, all day, over the Cowboys at this point in the season, even though there's nothing to play for. But again, like I said earlier, broken record is just more about like JJ McCarthy's improvement. The big question going into this game is how will KOC call this game? With a Cowboys offense like this, is he going to try to go toe to toe with these guys? Because if he does, it's going to be a disaster. If he tries to do what he does last week, long running the ball, long drives, getting the tight ends involved, being very heavy up front, I think they actually have a chance. It'll be very interesting to see if he can do it back-to-back weeks, because he has proven that he cannot do that. So Dallas does give up some yards on the ground. Their defense isn't overly great. They haven't been playing better. They got a good defensive front up front, but we'll see. But realistically, like I said, JJ McCarthy, like just build on what he did last week. Or Justin Jefferson, get him involved a little bit more, maybe one big play, whatever you got to do. But we'll see. I mean, realistically, I think the Cowboys offense is probably a little too much for JJ to hold up against. So I will actually pick Dallas. It pains my heart. It pains my parts, but I got Dallas 27-20 and the Vikings lose. Wah, wah.
Nice, fair analysis. Well, I look very forward to this week's games, and then we've already got another showdown with the Bears and the Packers again the following week. I cannot wait to get through the final stretch of this season. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got a lot of implications coming up every single week. Can we get 3 teams out of the North to make the playoffs? Is it just going to be 2 or maybe even 1 the way this thing's falling? We will see how it all shakes out down the stretch, but make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Next week, same time, same place, Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Let me get to this super chat real quick before we get out of here. We got Ice Cold Gaming says the Bears still suck. Go Pack, go. That stupid song, man. Oh God, I hate that song. I hate that song.
Have you been to Lambeau during it? Have you actually been?
No, I haven't. But oh man, listen, this goes way back to the mid '90s for me. Big Steve Young guy, obviously 49er fan, and every single year the Packers and Brett Favre knocking the 49ers out of the playoffs until they finally didn't. Questionable fumble there from Jerry Rice, but we didn't have review back then, so who gives a damn? Either way. I hate that damn song. Cannot stand it. So either way, listen, same time, same place next week. We'll see you here. Have a blessed evening. Talk soon. Much love. Peace.